the 18th meeting of the Board of Lake County Commissioners. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our meeting today. May our discussions be fruitful, our decisions wise, and our community strong. Amen.
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 Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Present. Next on the agenda, we have our minutes from the regular meetings of April 11th and April 18th, 2024. Do I have a motion to adopt waiving reading of the same?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. With that, we'll begin public comment, but to start, we have a bit of a special occasion. Our Lake County coroner, Dr. David J. Keep, was appointed earlier as acting coroner by the Board of Commissioners. He has since been appointed by the Lake County Republican Party Central Committee to finish out Dr. Comar's term for the remainder of the year. So he needs his second swearing in today to continue in his distinguished service to Lake County. When he wins, and I'm not a betting man, but given that he's running unopposed, when he wins in November, he'll then be sworn in a third time to continue a full term beginning in 2025. But today, I have the honor of swearing in Dr. Keep for the second time. So I'd ask the good doctor to step forward to administer the oath of office.
Did you memorize these?
Dr. David Keep, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, David J. Keep,
I, David J. Keep,
solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I support the Constitution of the United States
that I support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of coroner
of the office of coroner
in and for Lake County, Ohio.
in the Board of Lake County, Ohio.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
Introducing the acting coroner turned coroner for Lake County, and we're very grateful, I have to say, to Dr. Keep for his many years of service as our chief assistant coroner and as one of the few licensed pathologists who works in a coroner's office throughout Ohio. We're very blessed to have such a qualified, hard-working person here with us today. We'll have to take just a moment to quickly sign your oath of office, and we'll return to the meeting's usually scheduled programming. Can I borrow your pens?
Oh, of course. There you go.
Go. These two are yours, and the clerk is going to hand you the second one.
Well done.
Congratulations, Dr. David J. Keep is now official.
Because we put it in the picture frame. Hanging on a wall. Jen, did you actually?
So now we're going to return to our regularly scheduled programming in public portion. Any member of the public who would like to address the Lake County Board of Commissioners, please step forward, state your name and address, and then you have 3 minutes. Oh, ladies first.
Good morning, Gilda Spencer, 5580 Ford Road, Madison. I'm here to remind you of the things I still don't have. I don't have no school busing anymore, and it sounds like from the way I'm hearing that my road won't be completed till sometime fall next year, if we're lucky. So that'll put us at 3 years with no busing, no police protection, because if you live where I live, we live in the township. The police are located in North Madison in the township. They have to cross over the village, or they have to go out of their jurisdiction to get to us, which is more than 20 minutes longer because the road is still closed. So, and I want to remind you of the one thing. I started coming the end of June, and Mr. Plasnick told me that this was just political and it would be settled in a couple of weeks. Well, a couple of weeks went into months, and I'm reminded of when I came, if they would have taken action in the beginning, my road would be fixed by now, because it was supposed to be fixed and repaired by spring, and we haven't really even hardly started. So we're looking at all summer, probably all fall, and I want to thank you, gentlemen, for that.
Thank you. Now, sir, your turn.
Chris Bahari at 185 West Jackson. I see that we have a resolution coming up about the National Day of Prayer. I just wanted to have everyone really think about this and pray for America and pray for our young people in universities, and how that we have to stand up to all this unrighteousness and misgivings and misdocumented information that is coming out, and that we can really create this nation as a nation based on the foundation of families, and the families representing love of parents, love of children, and love of country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Anyone else for public portion?
I don't know why I was getting nervous coming up here. Lori Robinson, 55 Grant Street, Painesville. So I really want to start off by saying thank you. I've been coming to these meetings just kind of watching, and it seems like a lot of times people come in here and they complain about what you're not doing or what you should be doing, or what we think you should be doing better. And I just want to thank you for what you guys are doing. Even if it goes unrecognized. I know personally that some of you guys come out to the community on a regular basis and help out, and you guys make yourself available. So I want to thank you for that, first off. And then I'd also like to read this press release. April 30th, 2024, press release, Painesville Minister Fellowship, Second Community Conversation at Miracle Revival Ministries, Assemblies of God, supported by Building Freedom Ohio, 182 West Jackson Street in Painesville, Ohio, 44077. Friday, May 10th at 2024 at 6:30 p.m. We would like to invite you to our second community conversation, where we will begin discussions on what you, the people, believe we need to begin healing our community and how we can get there. We are calling all churches, city officials, and citizens of Lake County to stand in unity and begin tackling the issues that affect us most. This meeting is intended to give us a voice and a platform to be heard. I'm inviting all of you guys so that you can help people like myself understand how things work. I don't know how they work. I don't know the politics of things, but you guys do. So you guys being there is important for us so that we also have an insight on, what's possible and what's not possible and why it's not possible. I did bring a flyer, if it's okay for me to leave it with the clerk. And then I would like to finish by just thanking everybody that came the last time. Our first community conversation was a really good turnout. And I did promise for a second one, so this is the second one, and I'm hoping you guys all come. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
I'm Chris Weiss from Leroy. I want to start out by thanking the News Herald and Mr. Felton for his reporting of a recent article appeared yesterday in the newspaper. Boss Plechnik, you made a big splash yesterday. Picture isn't quite as large as you'd like it to be on the paper, but you know, there's not enough room here for a picture big enough for your ego. Wondering what your father must think of this. You share a name with him, right? Both John Plechnik. I can imagine, because you know, if my son were you, I wouldn't be too impressed. I'd be pretty disgusted by it. So, some of the things that might not have been covered as much in this newspaper article is it was your own students that ratted you out to the television station. You went on and on about how ethical you are, how you wrote essays on ethics in Willoughby Hills, and what a paragon of virtue you are. Not the brightest thing to do in front of law students who probably paid attention in their law school ethics class, which you don't teach. So they ratted you out to the Channel 3 News. Channel 3 News sends a public information request. Now I got to imagine at that point there had to be a powwow in the commission or the prosecutor's office. I'm not here to disparage the prosecutor's office in any way, but I can imagine that must have been some kind of come to Jesus meeting for you. Boy, Boss Plechnik, you really got your butt in a ringer now. What are we going to do about this? You claim that you self-reported, but in fact it was the prosecutor's office that reported this to the Ethics Commission. You removed evidence from your office of your wrongdoing. You were advised to comply with the investigation, but you lawyered up. Hired a guy, Carl Schneider, who's known to be a fixer, who's well connected with the Ethics Commission and all kinds of people who could help uncover for you, didn't they? Then you finally reported through him. You didn't actually self-report. But let's get into this a little bit more. Let's look at your curriculum vitae. In this article it says you didn't know what you was doing was wrong. Well, let's see. You graduated summa cum laude from Belmont Abbey College, a place where your own father's a professor, I hear. Doesn't he teach ethics there? Logic, things like that? Must not have taught it to you. Then you went on to Duke University School of Law, where you graduated cum laude, right? Oh, and then you went to Master's School in Law, New York University School of Law, LLM in Taxation. You then worked for U.S. Representative Sue Murnick. Must not have learned any ethics there either. Georgetown University Law Center. You wrote a paper, you were an adjunct professor of law, tax penalties and tax crimes. I would love to see you in front of a judge try to say you didn't know what you did was wrong. I think you would call BS on that. Because pretty clearly, you more than any other human being should know that what you did was wrong, that it was illegal, that it was unethical. Arguably, you're one of the most corrupt politicians since Nixon, certainly the most corrupt Republican.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public portion?
Good morning, Leonard Gilbert, resident of 6812 Glencairn Court in Mentor, Ohio. First of all, I wanted to thank Commissioner Hamachek and Commissioner Plechnik for responding to my comments last week about the issue of the property tax. I really appreciate that feedback. And however, I do want to follow up to not lose sight of a critical concern here, and that concern is true property ownership, which is the primary drive for our initiative to eliminate the property tax. I understand based on your comments that you may be limited as what you can do in your role, but I ask that as for your interactions with other leaders within our local entities, you also increase the awareness of this issue. In this economic environment, which is only going to get worse over time, we could actually end up sucking the life out of the community and hurt a lot of people along the way. And please to note, I'm here to help you, not to hurt you. My main concern is for my next generation, not for mine. The Lord knows we're leaving a mess for these children. As for the property tax, I just want to leave you with this. When a man is secure in the possession of his property, he has an area of liberty and dominion which is beyond the reach of other men. If no man or no state can reach in to tax and confiscate his property, man can enjoy true liberty and great security, whether he be prosperous or poor. Every attack on private property is therefore an attack on man's liberty. Now, the second concern I wanted to mention is related to the comments made about NOACA. No matter how you cut it, NOACA is another pseudo layer of government. I know that in your mind you have good intentions, but be careful by discounting the input from others as conspiracies. If you look at the condition of our nation, there have been people who have been ignored throughout history and warned others about what can happen. And we can see that this can't happen mentality has led to some negative consequences. If you take money from the federal or any government entity, there will inevitably be strings attached. And I'm sure you can look at our public education system to attest to that. The last comment I wanted to make is about the situation at Lakeland Community College. I recall that it was stated that the commissioners were kept in the dark on many issues relating to the well-being and financial state of that institution. Again, I am sure that there were good intentions to appoint the right people who would be responsible for the oversight. But as you stated, they should be held responsible. But as for the accountability, which is different than responsibility, I hope that there will be a review or a wrap-up to you ask yourself and what we could have done differently. I hope that the lesson learned would include a gathering basic information or data to provide a gut check. As someone stated, you're not perfect and will make mistakes, and I do not expect you to be perfect. Specifically, you may not know all the nuts and bolts, but simple inquiries like financial data, trends, and etc. can serve as data to provide an assessment. Again, I want to remind you that it's my intention as a God-fearing citizen to help and assist my leaders where I can. I want to end with this statement by the John Birch Society, for which I've been a member for quite some time. And it's basically less government, more responsibility, or self-government, and with God's help, a better world. And once again, thank you for the opportunity to speak and continue doing a great job that you're trying to do.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Brian Massa, 8196 Rainbow Drive, average citizen on behalf of Lobbyists for Citizens. I'm going to go off script for a second, if I may. I just want the public to know I've been doing this for quite some time with many commissioners, and I want the public to know that I'm looking at 3 men of honor. We don't always agree, but what I insist on is honesty, integrity, and transparency, and I'm getting it from all 3 of you. So I want the public to know that. We all make mistakes, no question about it. We're all sinners. In this room, no one can say that I'm perfect. So, Commissioner Plechnik, I know you were just sitting there and taking that, but I want to say that I do support all 3 of you. I was at the Corrections Board, and I want to congratulate Jason Boyd for his excellent presentation on the new Public Safety Center at the Correction Board meeting. You did a very nice job. I also congratulate the Sheriff's Department for providing an annual report showing a lot of a great deal of statistics, our work performed at our existing jail, and the interesting history of Lake County Jail. So they did an excellent job. The only question that was not answered was how are we going to pay for this new jail? And I have toured the old jail, and I say I don't see spending $40-50 million in trying to fix that thing. I just don't see it. That would be money well spent. So I recognize that you have a challenge. What I did is I asked the auditor's office for a funds report for the month of the end of April, or the end of March, and then the end of April, and I gave copies to the commissioners. What I don't see in there is, $200 million sitting in one account. So certainly is going to be a challenge. What I do see from that funds report is Deepwood still has $65 million that is invested by the county, with the county retaining the interest income. Deepwood's stabilization account number 208 shows $14,723,000, and when we look at the county's stabilization fund number 213, we see only $9,042,000. So Deepwood's got over $5 million more just in their stabilization than the whole county. The Forensic Crime Lab account is showing $9,942,000. So they keep pulling a lot of money out of from the taxpayers. The overpaid property tax account shows $3,918,346, and I have confirmed from the treasurer's office that no more money will be distributed to the taxpayers that made these payments. They just can't identify it. So that eventually the prosecutor at some date is going to say that that money goes into the general fund. I see that today we're going to celebrate the month of May as Older Citizens Month. I have to confirm I'm in that category, although I hate to use the O word. We ask what the county is going to do to ensure that older Americans aren't going to be priced out of their homes with these ever-increasing property taxes. Will the county forego the $1.8 million property tax windfall from the 2024 property reevaluation? Will the $3.9 million in overpaid property tax be returned to the taxpayers? Finally, we'd like to thank Commissioner John Hamercheck for helping getting Lake Tran to suspend the 0.25% sales tax, giving $12 million back to the taxpayers starting in July of this year. Unfortunately, Commissioner Hamercheck, not many taxpayers realize that you played an integral part in that, and I thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion?
Good morning, everyone. To our commissioners, to our president, to our administrators. You guys are very inspirational and you're very greatly appreciated in Lake County. I want to say that first. We are in the middle of spring, as you know. Spring is the time for change. We'll soon be heading into summer. I know you all have great plans for our summer, for our communities. And I just thank you for the job that you are doing. I know the seats that you're filling is very heavy. Those phones you have to answer, the things you have to adhere to. But we want you to know that we appreciate you and keep doing the great job that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Reginald Black, 200 West Jackson Street.
Anyone else? John.
John Music, 45 Coventry Drive, Painesville Township. I just want to talk about these 4 special resolutions you have. And I want to thank, I'll go through them, I just want to thank for every person that volunteers to be a foster parent, because our children need a family. And I want to thank those parents that do that for these kids. And then also for older Americans, you know, and Mr. Thomasek back there, his Council on Aging, they do a lot of work. And the older population in Lake County needs help. They do, in all different types. And then the Ohio peace officers, I thank my police officers every day. And those gentlemen back there, like I have said for years, without law enforcement and our military, we won't have a country. We won't. And those gentlemen are sitting back there, but the ladies and gentlemen that are doing this job, I thank them. And I thank them every day, not just today or yesterday, every day. And like I always say, and the last one, the National Day of Prayer. God is my Savior. And the thing about it is, like I always say, God, family, country. And just like Mr. Massey, there is no perfect person on this earth. Some people think they are, but they're not. That's right. And the thing about it is, without God, we won't have anything. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone else for public portion? Bishop.
Juad Mebel, 1049 Brentwood Drive, Pennsville, Ohio. When I was in college, there is a verse I learned in Latin school, errare es humanum est. Men will make mistakes, but men will do better. In my early age, I was young, I was living, I had drivers driving me, and I'm leaving my house And my mother said to me, I don't want you to go. And I pushed my mother aside. And I went to the car. And when I get there, my driver and two young ladies that was with us, and then I realized I forgot my wallet, and I came back, and my mother was crying. And I said, Mama, please forgive me. She said, son, you know I will forgive you, but I want you to go on your knees and pray and ask God for forgiveness. And I did that. And I came here when I was 31. I strongly believe leaders, great leaders that I met, like yourself, commissioners, city leaders, great sheriff department, practically make me a chaplain. I wish my mother was alive to see this. Half of my life being practically here. I just want to say thank you to the United States of America. Because of United States, now I am helping with the government of Kenya to send back home to help my homeland. Thank you, America. Thank you, America. Thank you, city leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public portion? Anyone else? Seeing none, it's time to go to resolutions. Madam Clerk.
And special resolutions. Resolution proclaiming May 2024 Foster Parent Recognition Month in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, I'd like to introduce Suzanne Kazar, our Director of Job and Family Services, to say a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner Plechnik. We appreciate the commissioners considering this resolution today. We are always excited to take this opportunity to recognize our foster parents. They are an important part of our team at Job and Family Services. However, they are most important to the children in our custody that they care for every day. These are foster parents who wake up in the middle of the night with babies, who are waking up. They are getting kids ready for school every day, packing lunches. The list goes on and on and on of the things that they do for our children in custody. So we wanted to take this opportunity to recognize them, express our gratitude for them. I wanted to mention that we are always looking for additional foster parents. We are always actively recruiting additional foster parents. So if you could spread the word, or if anyone in the audience could spread the word regarding the need for us to license additional foster parents, I would appreciate it. And if I may, I would also like to invite the supervisor of our foster care unit up today to talk a little bit more about the work that he does on a daily basis with our foster caregivers. His name is Gene Tetrick.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a year. Here I am again. So, good morning, Commissioners Plechnik, Hamercheck, and Regovich. I hope today finds you well. So, we are just plugging along over there at JFS, doing our daily routines of getting more families in our community interested in the foster care program. And as Suzanne said, we always need more. And thank you for the shout out over there for all of the things that the foster parents do in a day. This is our month to really kind of show up and say our thanks and give them gratitude for all of the things that they do. The hard things, the easy things, and we're always so grateful for you, the commissioners, and all of the support that you give us and our foster parents over at JFS.
Well, two things to say. First of all, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Foster parents, without a doubt, meet the definition of a saint. By taking a child into their home, they're not just saving that child, they're building a family and the future of our community. It's an incredible sacrifice, but it does so much good. And they couldn't do that without your help and without the director's help. You facilitate that process. So thank you for devoting your life to the children of Lake County. And two, we'd like to recognize Suzanne, you, and all of our foster parents today with a proclamation. So if you would come forward. official. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Resolution proclaiming May 2024 Older Americans Month in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, I would like to introduce our Senior Services Manager, Aaliyah Barajas, as well as Kristen Kane, our Volunteer Coordinator for the Lake County Volunteer Network. We also have present Carrie Dotson from Lifeline, as well as our good friend Joey Tomsick from the Lake County Council on Aging.
Good morning. Thank you. Every May, the nation observes Older Americans Month. Led by the Administration on Community Living, this year's theme, Powered by Connection, offers the opportunity to explore the vital role that connection plays in supporting independence and aging in place. In honor of Older Americans Month, we will be holding our annual Senior Day event at the Great Lakes Mall on Tuesday, May 21st. The event is brought to you by the Senior Services Levy Coalition, which is comprised of agencies funded by the Senior Levy. We invite you to connect with us on May 21st for activities, live entertainment, and the outstanding senior awards presented by the commissioners. Tickets are $1 each and are available at your local senior center or the Council on Aging. We do have 2 member agencies here of the Senior Levy Coalition that would like to come up and say a few words. So we have Carrie Dotson from the Executive Director of Lifeline and Joe Tomsick, the CEO of Council on Aging.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Commissioners. Thank you for the resolution declaring this Older Americans Month in Lake County. We are really proud of the work we do with our senior citizens at Lifeline, and we're really grateful to you for the funding that you provide that allows us to do that. Everything from our guardianship program, which we've been running since 2018, to our Helping Hands for Seniors program, which we launched in partnership with you last year, to our new programs that we just launched this spring with the Healthy Aging Grants. We're already seeing really great results with our Housing Navigator and digital inclusion programs. So the needs of our seniors are very diverse, and we're excited that you recognize that and that you fund accordingly. So thank you.
Thank you.
Paul. You know, since the founding of the Council on Aging back in 1972, Lake County has held a special place in its heart for our older citizens. We treasure their continued involvement in our community in so many ways, their unique perspectives, of course. Commissioners, the seniors of Lake County have laid the foundation of this county through all of their hard work, their contributions, their creativity, and they've made it possible for us to enjoy this great county that we have now. From my board of the Council on Aging, our incoming vice president is here, Paul Pareski. He and I, along with all the members of our board, our incredible staff at the Council on Aging, and of course our dedicated volunteers, couldn't be more thankful to all of you for this honor, this proclamation today. We work hard every day to ensure that the current life of our seniors should be as sweet as the memories of their younger days here in Lake County. In closing, I thank you, Commissioner Hammercheck, Commissioner Regovich, Commissioner Plechnik, because I know that seniors hold a special place in your hearts. And this opportunity to honor Older Americans Month is a great time for all of us to continue ways to make it possible for them to enjoy their lives, their future lives here in Lake County. So we certainly appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Tomsick. And once again, I would say 2 things to senior services here for Lake County, Lifeline, and the Council on Aging. We're so grateful to all of you for your tireless work on behalf of our seniors. I can't disagree with Mr. Massey and Mr. Gilbert that we haven't done enough. There's always more that needs to be done. And it's particularly hard for our seniors right now with inflation pushing all the costs higher and higher. But I've personally seen how when a senior called my office needing to get their taxes done a few days before April 15th, Mr. Tomsick, you moved heaven and earth to find a volunteer tax preparer for them to get it done immediately, to take care of their concern. And that's just one out of countless examples that Lifeline, Council on Aging, and Lake County Senior Services have contributed to. So we're very grateful to you for the hard work that you do, and I think that Lake County voters speak every some odd years through their incredible support for the senior levy and how they do support each other and they do care about our seniors just as we all do. I'm very grateful, of course, to Randy Roethlisberger, our sanitary engineer, for his work in not only maintaining but now increasing the senior discount for Lake County water and sewer fees for low-income seniors to 30%. And once again, that's not enough. It's never enough. But we're sincerely, as a community, doing our best to put our seniors first, and that wouldn't be possible without all of your help. So second, I would ask not only you, Mr. Tomsick, and your colleague, Mr. Vice President, but also Aaliyah and Kristen and Carrie to come forward to each accept a proclamation on behalf of your organizations to recognize Older Americans Month in Lake County.
I'll get it.
You are a trooper.
And I will just tell you, Commissioners, as we go back to our seats, that the Senior Services Levy Coalition that Aaliyah referenced is a great working group of partners. And from time to time, we need to rely on each other. And in particular, that incident that you had mentioned in regards to the senior looking for the last-minute assistance, it was to me and then from Council on Aging to Lifeline, and they were able to make that arrangement. So that's just a little example, again, of how all of our organizations work well together. So thank you again.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, let's make it official.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plutchnik.
Yes.
Resolution recognizing May 2nd, 2024 is Ohio Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week of May 12th to the 18th, 2024 as National Police Week in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
At this stage, I'd like to introduce our Lake County Sheriff, Frank Bruno, to say a few words.
Well, I didn't have anything prepared. Obviously, I applaud all the people across Ohio who are involved in the law enforcement community, who put themselves last in terms of defending the citizens and securing our communities to make them safe. I've spoke here before. It is the police officer on the street that is the first line of defense, not only against crime, but also against terrorism, which becomes a greater and greater threat. And it is important to always remember the individuals who have sacrificed themselves and the sacrifices that have come to their families because of those sacrifices in protecting our communities. And so it is with great respect I honor all those today who have sacrificed to make our world a safer place. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. And I would invite you, as well as any members of law enforcement in the crowd, to come forward to accept our proclamation for believe we have, yes we do, National Police Week as well as Peace Officers Memorial Day. I want to let you know that Commissioner Hamercheck specially requested this resolution as a former member of law enforcement. So we're very grateful that you and he are both here today.
There you go, Sheriff. There you go, sir. Where are we? Hold on, I'll just put you in here somehow.
Or you can go back to home. Thank you. Take care of it. Always good to see you. Thank you.
Sheriff.
I might just add that Bishop Maribel joined us because he's the chaplain for our sheriff's department and jail, and we're very grateful for his service to Lake County. Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hamercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik, Mr. President, if I may.
Absolutely.
I think it bears pointing out that Lake County's own and Mentor Police Department's Officer Gerald F. Lynch of the Mentor Courts Division, he was only 56 years old, and he passed away from complications from COVID-19 that he contracted in the line of duty. Our sheriff pointed out the number of people involved in our justice system, and our court officers are very much at risk because they too have hazards that they encounter routinely. So I think it bears pointing out that in our own resolution we do have Officer Gerald F. Lynch, Mentor Police Department, Court Division. So thank you, sir, for allowing me to add that.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. I think it's appropriate that our next resolution is about the National Day of Prayer. Madam Clerk.
Resolution recognizing May 2nd, 2024 as National Day of Prayer in Lake County, Ohio.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Then let me just say, there is nothing in life more powerful than prayer. Thanks to all of you who pray for Lake County, who pray for our police, who pray for those who are lost and those who are still fighting to do their best. You make all the difference. I know that it's not like rubbing a magic lamp with a wish from the genie. Sometimes God doesn't reply the way you expect him to, but God always listens. And there's nothing more impactful that a human being can do than get on their knees and ask God for help. So very, very grateful, especially to our ministers and bishops and priests and folks of faith and rabbis. Some of you who are here today, I know that Treasurer Zurin is hosting an event for National Day of Prayer here at the county. It's a very important day because it reminds us of something that may seem mundane, but is literally the beginning of a miracle every time you reach out to God. So, any further discussion from my colleagues? Then, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hamercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes. And I would just ask that if we have any clergy with us here today, they come forward to accept a proclamation on behalf of their church.
flung in all directions. Should invite them to join the precision handshaking drill team. That was pretty impressive.
Madam Clerk, back to you.
In the engineer's office, resolution to advertise for bids for the LAK Middle Ridge Road, County Road 22 resurfacing project in Madison Township, Madison Village, Ohio, PID number 119690, federal aid number FAN E240101, LCE project number 2023-012, bid opening May 29, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletcher.
Yes.
Resolution to advertise for bids for Lake County Road Department Salt 2024, LCE project number 2024-005, bid opening May 22nd, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract to Osborne Concrete and Stone Company for the roadway materials 2024 limestone contract as required by the Lake County engineer in the amount of $204,725.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract to Grand River Asphalt Company for the roadway materials 2024 plant mix pavements contract as required by the Lake County engineer in the amount of $368,500.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
In the Utilities Department, resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Fund and Project Fund 595, Union Street Waterline Replacement 479W 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Fund and Project Fund 595, Regent Road Waterline Replacement 478W 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution certifying unpaid water and sewer sums and administrative charges to the Lake County Auditor.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution approving plan specifications and estimates of cost in the amount of $938,700 for solid waste facility entrance drive reconstruction phase 1 project number 472L 2023 and advertising for bids for the same, bid opening May 22nd, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
In Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers date of warrant May 10th, 2024 in the amount of $82,765.22.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, Energized Community Grants.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing advertising for bids for Lake County Probate Court Garage Project for the Lake County Board of Commissioners, bid opening May 29, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Clerk, hearing none?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Pletchnik.
Yes.
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,031,776.43.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $117,739.94.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes.
Resolution transferring appropriations within various non-general fund accounts.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik?
Yes. With the conclusion of resolutions, it's time for departmental reports, starting with utilities. Thank you. Then on to Job and Family Services.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today I wanted to share some exciting news coming out of our Ohio Means Jobs Lake County Center. The Director of Workforce Development, Corey Bojack, couldn't be here today, but he asked me to relay this information during the meeting. Next week is In-Demand Jobs Week. That will take place May 6th through May 10th. I know Mr. Bojack has talked about In-Demand Jobs Week in the past. It is designed to promote Ohio's most in-demand and fastest growing industries through statewide hiring, education, and training events. This year's In-Demand Jobs Week theme is Ohio, the Heart of Opportunity, highlighting the various opportunities available now and in the future. And as I mentioned last week during the meeting, we are going to be hosting a spring career fair next week. We are doing that because it is In-Demand Jobs Week. So that will be on Wednesday, May 8th from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Lake County Fairgrounds. As I mentioned last week, we are having over 25 employers there representing a wide range of occupations and opportunities for job seekers. So again, I would encourage any member of the public who is a job seeker to plan on attending that event on May 8th. Thank you.
Thank you. Our County Administrator, Jason Boyd.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, I just thank you, Mr. Massey, for the kind words. Yesterday I did present to the County Corrections Board, which is comprised of all the judges in the county, both at the county and municipal level, the Sheriff's Office, and some other individuals, the commissioners, etc. It's a great organization. They meet on an annual basis, and we felt it was an appropriate time to start to show what this facility, the Lake County Public Safety Center, the Sheriff's Office, what it looks like as it begins to kind of come out of the ground from a design standpoint. Had a lot of good Q&A from the Corrections Board, and I will be doing a similar presentation probably in the next few weeks during a Commissioners meeting where I will go over the same aspects, and if there's any rendering amendments that have occurred between yesterday and then, folks will be able to see those. And as I noted, I believe a week or two ago, we're anticipating a 50% design development estimate here in the next few weeks. Both our architect and builder have an estimator each. Those two will get together and reconcile their numbers to help us get to that 50% design estimate. As I've said in the past, I equate this to a baseball game, and we're in about the 4th inning of the design process of the ball game right now. Once we complete the design development stage, we'll then enter into the CD construction document stage of the plan. So things are moving along quite well, and like everyone can anticipate a presentation in the next 2 to 3 weeks at this meeting. And finally, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to our folks at the Buildings and Grounds Department. As spring comes, as the gentleman alluded to, I'm always impressed when I take a walk at lunch at the aesthetics and the landscaping and the upkeep of the county campus, from the probate court over to Suzanne's shop. Our guys and gals do a great job. Mark I. Felice takes pride in the civic presence that we represent here in downtown Painesville and all our buildings. Just thanks to those folks. I saw them out yesterday working hard, starting to prep all the beds, mowing, edging. I'm a stickler for those sorts of things. I think it represents the county in whole and how we maintain our public buildings, which are the people's buildings. So thanks to Mark and everyone at Buildings and Grounds. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
I guess I wanted to mention that the next commissioners meeting is going to be Thursday, May 9th at 10 a.m.
And legal. Thank you. So now is the time for old business. Is there any old business before the commission? Hearing none. Any new business?
Mr. President,
Mr. Commissioner.
I was able to take part in yesterday's Hawaiian Land Day at the Senior Center. I went to Senior Center up by John's neck of the woods, and there's a lot of road work going on, by the way. And it was nice to see that they all enjoyed and had a good time. And I was able to talk to a lot of people, and they provided lunch, and it was a fun day had by all. So it kind of got them excited out, and it was good to be out and to talk with them, and it was a beautiful day for it. So
Good to hear. Any other new business? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Regovich.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Commissioner Plechnik.
Yes, we stand adjourned.